Well, hello everyone, and welcome to today's edition of Beyond the Ordinary Show. And today we have the amazing Zoe Davenport with us. We're going to be talking about activating your blueprint for alignments and abundance. And there's going to be so much more. Y'all, I have a feeling we're going to be rich with Q&A from you guys. So I'm going to highly recommend that you raise your hand, ask Zoe your personal question, type your questions into the chat box. There are things we want to talk about. There is an entrainment that is happening in this conversation with Zoe and me and you all that elevates all of us. So if you even want to take a conscious long inhale and hold and a long exhale to just relax and to join us in this field, we welcome you and it would be wonderful. Um, and if you're new to Zoe, what can I say about Zoe? She's been on BTO since 2017, I think. No, I know for sure 2017 is when I went to Peru for the first time. That's when I met Zoe, and she's become a dear friend. And her experience and how she keeps expanding and developing her multi-dimensional skills as a channel, as a divine oracle and a spiritual mentor has just been so impressive. And today on BTO as the host and y'all as an audience get to benefit from everything that she's been receiving, embodying, and ready to share with us now. And it's with that, Zoe, that I want to welcome you back to BTO.
It is always such a pleasure, Don. I'm so excited to drop into conversation with you today, and just a big warm hug to your community as well, and all of you tuning in live and even on the replay. And yeah, welcome everyone.
Mm. One of the initial things that come up, and it seems like we talk about this in different segments through different seasons along the way. But I believe there's a new version of it that's been arising, um, is about releasing outdated programs and patterns. And I'd love it if you can share more of your awareness of where you see the people that you're working with are with that, and what is shifting in that patterning, or what was held before as possibly new frameworks are coming in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good question. And I'm just inviting all of the divine guidance into this space as well that wants to join us, of our collective higher selves, our oversouls, and all of the divine beings of light that are here for our highest good. And then just setting a collective intention that everything that is not here for the highest good to go home and evolve. Just bringing us all into this center, this moment, and just allowing the highest information to flow through. I hope. So what I've been personally diving into a lot deeper, and also with my clients, is really getting into the nitty-gritty of these repeating cycles and these repeating programs and these repeating belief systems. And once we clear this, it cannot come back. It's like we literally shift an octave of our inner truth. And so those parts of ourselves are more dissolved. And this is testament to my own journey over the last 15 years of this continuation of this death and rebirth process. And what was true for me last week, last month, last year, a decade ago, has dissolved, and there's no longer an emotional charge to it. And when we really create the spaciousness, and not just doing this on a part-time basis, like actually including and incorporating this in a daily ceremony, we will start to see significant shifts in the external reality. And at the moment, particularly where we're at on a time frame with this kind of splitting of these two worlds, and where we are collectively and our choice point, we can either choose to continue looping in these karmic cycles, or we can come into mastery and dissolve this once and for all. And then the riches of that on the opposite side is more flow, more chi, more prana, more life force flowing through our systems. And so our day-to-day experiences are that much enriched. And even when there are experiences that happen in our physical reality, our emotional charge is dissipated and we're in neutrality with it. So that's a really good invitation for us all at the moment. And it's a challenge, but it's worth it.
How do we know we're at the choice point of letting go and moving forward? Because sometimes it doesn't seem so obvious. Sometimes we think that we're really releasing and choosing something in the new, but we're still in the cycle and we don't know why things aren't changing.
Yeah. And so the invitation for that is when you feel that you're in a point where you keep circling back to the same belief, you keep circling back to the same thought, and you feel that you're in this perpetual kind of washing machine with something. I like to call it going into observer mode. So it's you take your consciousness out of your physical self and you observe yourself. I'm almost kind of teach it like you bring your consciousness to the back of your head. And so then you're looking at yourself at the back of your head and then looking through your eyes and like, okay, what is this avatar playing out that I need a higher awareness of? What messages and guidance do I need to receive to help this current avatar of my soul's experience on this planet? And it's work. It's a practice to come into mastery with this. But the more that an individual practices this type of observation, which is observing like, okay, what am I to learn? How do I break free of this particular pattern, of this particular cycle? And sometimes it is through deep listening, and sometimes it is through deep resting. Sometimes it is sitting most of the time. In fact, I'm going to say 95% of the time, it's creating space to be in the stillness and the silence of it, and the answer will come. And then from that, there is that inspired action. But that action is everything because it is an alignment to the next steps of your soul's evolution.
Well, and the answer will come because we are singing the harmonic from our field that is a match for the next answer that we're ready to receive. So we're not really chasing anything. What you're really speaking to also is quantum mechanics and quantum creation. It's being in that still point of non-local reality, and that acts as the nexus of where we point our focus, in this case, energetically where we direct our attention is where we see the next.
Yes, exactly. I think that we may have just lost John into the quantum realm of existence. Hopefully he's coming back now. There he is.
I am
Welcome.
back. I blinked in and out. So
He's shifted into the quantum.
non-local reality again. Um, so it's really wonderful. You know, one thing I want to get to. So, okay, so things are moving forward and okay, we're maybe just too focused on that, not really being in that present state also. What can also happen is perhaps we have moved from it, but what we desire, what we think was shifting, what the change that we hope to see hasn't come quite just yet, but we have had that relational dynamic where the shift has been ignited. How do you recommend that anybody who's watching or listening, if they've been really changing their patterns, working in the field, if you will, aligning with the next iteration of who they're truly becoming? But the thing isn't quite just landing yet. The answer isn't resolving. It almost feels like a state of limbo, whether it's health, relationship, finances, whatever it is, our career, our purpose. It's like, I know I'm supposed to do something, but I don't know why it's not getting out there or why it's not clear. What's the, what are some words of encouragement that you can give to the audience that lets them know that perhaps it's okay to be in that space?
Yeah, so I would say that take the ego out of the expectation of the external reality, right? Because it's the ego that is wanting validation. Look, I've done this good work. Okay, where's the shift in the reality? What do you mean I have to sit in the stillness? But no, I need to know what's happening in the future to feel okay. So take the ego out of the expectation of the shift needing to be immediate, right? And so this comes back to this concept that we understand the third dimensional reality is a linear construct, right? We have an A, we have a B. We have a start point and we have a destination. That is how we age in this reality. That is how we understand time. That is how we understand day and night. We have a structure. There is a form. There is a calendar. There is an awareness of how we operate in this dimension. But when we are shifting our consciousness in and out of different states beyond the third dimensional awareness, which is tapping into that quantum realm of existence and potential, it's non-linear. And so it doesn't happen in the way that our third dimensional awareness expects it to. And so taking the ego out of instant gratification, of instant manifestation for instant results, and being okay in the stillness. And so instead of calling it limbo, it's actually being comfortable in the nothingness, nothingness, in the void, and being okay in the spaciousness of that. Because in the spaciousness, there is that gestation period. There is that potential of creativity that starts to flow into our reality, into through our nervous system, that creates thought, that creates form, that creates manifestation. And so it's really two things. It's, okay, great, we're working on our cycles, we're working on these looping patterns, and clearing and releasing and taking care of the physical body alongside that, and taking care of the thoughts and going into observer and releasing that and feeling free from that. But then we also have to free ourselves from the expectation of something shifting externally instantly. And so it's that void, it's that nothingness. And in that space, it becomes known. That makes sense.
I was going to say, in that nothingness, what I've come to understand from my personal experience, that in the stillness, I'm actually deepening in my intimacy with God. In that nothingness is actually everything. And as I float in that space of reality, which once seemed so far-fetched because I was so encumbered in creation in the 3D world, that I wasn't given breath and pause to what was building in that energy. And if that thing that hasn't come that I was hoping to, or that I felt, or that's like it's like I can see so clearly in my third eye's mind, then the pause there becomes a mantra for me, which is, it's an honor to wait on God. Because right there, everything seems to be building, and it's that, just that awareness and that stillness has brought me great comfort, because it's not for nothing. It has tremendous purpose and gifts that are attributed to it if we're open to receive.
Yeah, I love that. And how beautiful it is to live in a space of deep acceptance of the present moment, and to want for nothing else other than to experience the breath of life and to be an internal gratitude of that. And that's where we start to witness daily miracles, and things come to us that we didn't even know we needed, or that was aligned for our highest good. And so it's even taking the control out of the manifestation, right? And there are plenty of manifestation coaches out there that will lead you down a path of singularity, right? Of just focusing on the physical material gain, and not the deep riches and the fruition of what we can experience in the spaciousness. And that is a beautiful manifestation, to be in that moment, right? And I know that you and I, John, have experienced that many, many times.
Well, it's wonderful also because we come to the realization that seeking the pinnacles of the materialistic gains or wins or accomplishments, they're wonderful, but over the course of so many decades of experience, it's like, yeah, and what else? It's like something else calls us. Like, that's that one thing that I thought would fulfill me and would be everything isn't. And so we go to create the next one to get to another state. Well, that's not it. And that's not it. And that's not it. And it's wonderful to be in creation. But when you're in that present state, like you're speaking about, in that, there's everything in that. Everything, that pause, that fulfillment, that connection is, and from there, all the awe and wonder that you could ever hope for me, gets birthed. gets to be experienced. And we get called. I know for you, speak a little bit about your personal experience. I know you were guided to go to one particular place for one particular calling, and it felt right to be there, but then there was a redirection because something different was coming up in your awareness and in your heart, and you were actually called to just pivot really quickly. So even as we're getting into these points of creation, we're still going to follow threads, and we're in human form, and some things guide us only to guide us somewhere else. But it's not
Mhm.
about the judgment and the expectation. It's like you trusting the pattern that the map could have gotten you direct to another place, but something perhaps needed to be experienced over here before you got over there. And all of that is beautiful in its own creation rather than having to be so neat and perfect in the way that it's architected that we miss experiences that otherwise we wouldn't have had.
100%. And it's that cliche, it's not about the destination, it's the journey. And
Mhm.
sometimes we want to experience the exact opposite in order to bring ourselves into alignment. And sometimes I feel that when a particular path or a decision that was made in our physical reality doesn't quite flow in the way that we had expected it to, we can sometimes look for fault or blame self of what did I do wrong? And it's like, actually, what am I doing right? It's recognizing the moment that something has shifted. So on one plane of existence, that reality may have been in alignment, but as we continue to hold ourselves in our highest potential, reality shifts in accordance to that, and then we pivot and then we change. And that's what John was speaking into. Is I have been on this incredibly interesting path for over 15 years now, where I literally feel my life is going in one direction and something will shift in my energy field and that path is no longer aligned. And I'm probably the extreme version of this because I make decisions very quickly because I know not to continue on a path when it feels so incredibly out of integrity to my physical vessel. That's a telltale sign. And as soon as I make that shift, there's this whole side door that opens up, this whole different experience that I could not have manifested where I've been in those experiences. I could have manifested my expectations, but when we let go, and as they say, let God and create the spaciousness for it to listen deeply, there's always something in the periphery and that side vision that's gently guiding us into something that we didn't know we needed. And there, it's just, I'm so blown away every time I personally go through these experiences. It's just, yeah, it's amazing.
Well, and you're carrying that as you share it with people that you work with as well. So even in the transmissions and the conversations, as we go deeper, because I want to talk more about the Trinity portals also, what your awareness is of those important of those doorways that if we can glimpse in the field can provide tremendous doorways for new opportunities. So I want to get into that in a little bit. We are going to get into live Q&A also. Zoe's actually going to lead us on a little activation that'll help us align with deeper questions from our souls and relax our minds so we can be in a place of receptivity where we're ready to hear and really carry us forward. So that's going to come up here shortly. So again, if y'all want to ask personal questions, type your question into the chat box or raise your hand and we'll get to those in a little bit. And before we do any of that, Zoe, speak a little bit more about your experience of working with others as well to awaken their deeper levels of clarity, receptivity, and activate more joy.
So when I work with people, especially in group settings, there's always an amazing collective feel that we get to cultivate where we're in kind of working in harmonious union with heart opening. And there is always such wisdom and beauty and insights that flows through us as a group. And it's really taking people on these journeys beyond the known version of reality. So there's I call them these kind of transmissions or activations. I mean, I'm not attached to the labeling of it, but really they're these guided journeys that allow us to bypass the front thinking brain, the ego version of self, and travel beyond into realms of consciousness of what's possible. And so each individual person, I'm just giving them keys to access that within themselves And they then get to open up within them any clarity, any insight, any guidance. And there's always such profound messaging that comes through in that space. So I'm really just opening up the field of potential and teaching people how to do that for themselves.
How difficult is it for them to do it for themselves? Do you need to be there on a continuous basis? Is it, I need to call Zoe so I can activate that so I can see the clarity that came in during my time with her?
Well, my philosophy is I'd like to make myself redundant in this world. And so these journeys are helping people to access that for themselves. And then obviously there's the recordings and they can go back to those journeys whenever they like, because sometimes it is nice being guided and having a soothing, activating voice as part of that journey. But the idea is that, everyone is diving into their own potential for themselves. Right.
Mhm.
And I'm literally facilitating the space for that to happen.
You're holding the field, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Well, how about we get into the experience before we start going into some Q&A here.
I love that. Okay.
Amazing.
All right. So everyone listening, when you're ready, just closing down your eyes and placing the soles of your feet on the earth. Just taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And then just breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Breathing in for counts of 4 and out for counts of 4. Good. And just feeling yourself through the soles of your feet, grounding all the way down into the crystal core of Gaia. Anchoring you into your physical vessel. And if your mind starts to wander, just bringing it back to the breath, breathing in and breathing out. And bringing your attention into your heart and imagining a beautiful golden light emanating from your heart. And breathing this golden light from your heart into every single cell of your body. So using your mind's eye, your third eye, your imagination, to breathe this energy into every single part of you, lighting up, becoming brighter, more alive with prana, with life force, with love, light, energy. And just feeling this golden light expanding into your auric field. You imagine this beautiful, protective light all the way around your aura. And on those next inhalations, just imagining yourself expanding your energy field, expanding your aura out all the way around you. Breathing yourself back into your expanded state of consciousness through this visualization. And just remembering your breath as your guiding and activating tool. We call forth your higher self and all energies of the highest possible timeline to support. And anything that is not here for the highest good to go home and evolve. In this moment of expansion, just feeling yourself traveling now beyond your physical self, your physical body. Feeling yourself expanding and traveling into the cosmos. Feeling yourself traveling and expanding into the quantum, beyond time, beyond space, beyond thought, beyond form. And just find yourself in that place, floating around, feeling the nothingness within you and all around you. Remembering your breath, breathing in and breathing out. And in this space of pure creative potential, what is an intention that you wish to set for yourself? What is something that you wish to call in of an experience, a feeling? To hold this vision now in this space. Breathing this vision into all of the parts of you that is back in that physical realm. Good. And then bringing yourself into awareness of the physical vessel. And continuing to feel this intention activating within every single cell of your being. That you become a divine magnet for this intention, that it is done, it is so. And feeling the love and gratitude for your physical body. That it gets to house your consciousness in this reality. Knowing that you can come back to this journey anytime that you feel guided to reset, to reform the intention of alignment for highest good. Taking a deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out. And just feeling yourself reconnecting to the physical body, the earth below you. Feeling yourself coming back into this space and gently opening your eyes and receiving the light. Feeling gratitude for who you are and all that you are creating in this journey of life. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Zoe. All right. How's that for a primer for Q&A, y'all? So again, if y'all want to ask questions, raise your hands and we're gonna start getting into some Q&A here. We have some questions that are coming in the chat box, so we're gonna get to those in a little bit. Kathy's saying it's hard to come back. It's like I came back a little early and I was feeling it. There's a lot of energy running through. But let's not call it hard to come back. Let's just be in the graceful moment of what is and allow the slowness of coming back to come back. You're not going to miss anything, and you're contributing to this energy, Kathy, in that expanded state that you're assimilating to. So thank you. And let's welcome Joseph to the call. Welcome, sir.
Hello.
Hey, Joseph. What's your question for Zoe?
Hello, Zoe. I've been honored to have been in service to God or to Source for the past 45 years as a therapist. I've just retired, and today is my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And I'm looking for a direction. I miss being in the, I was going to say the trenches, but in the presence of the brilliant beings with great courage to grow themselves over the years. And
Mm.
it's such a blessing to have been a part of that. Just a little bit wondering what's next for me. I want to make myself available. I think I've accumulated a great deal of wisdom over the years that I still wish to impart and share and be a part of the wonderful process of personal growth with people around me.
I love that question. So when I tap into your energy field, it's really interesting. I'm seeing lots and lots of dogs, like lots of pets, and I was getting this message through. I don't know if you have any animals or you've had animals in the past.
I've been um, thinking a great deal about getting a pet.
Mm.
Okay, so what I was getting coming through for you is actually foster caring animals and more than one. Like I was seeing like a few dogs and cats around you, more dogs, but I was getting the message coming through around fostering animals until they find their forever home. There's something about you have this kind of telepathic ability to connect to animals. I don't know if you've ever if that's something that you have ever uh experienced, or perhaps you will experience it after this awareness, but I was getting that really strongly for you. There's some type of fostering of animals.
Mm.
It isn't something that crossed my mind, but I have noticed that I have had that ability with pets in the past. I always thought that it was just a novelty. I didn't think of it as a as, as a direction for growth, but I'm starting to understand that there's a lot more to what animals are in this process of the earth moving into its ascension. I think the animals are going to play a great part in that, and I'm thinking maybe that's the connection we're talking about.
Hey,
100%,
Joseph,
100%.
Joseph, can we do a little something? I want to initiate something and then have Zoe cap it off if you're open to it.
Okay.
So think about the beginning of the call as Zoe was talking about that 0 point space. We're talking about quantum reality. And then just imagine, you don't have to, but imagine just closing your eyes and having that birthday cake in front of you with the candles lit up. And imagine in your mind's eye blowing out the candles and putting a big wish out into the quantum field for what would bring you joy to receive as a gift from the universe at this time. And then hold that steadiness of that wish and that emotional experience sacred and with joy in your heart. And just breathe that in for a second as we just take in the smoke that's coming up from the candles, or we celebrated and witnessed that wish. And hold steady there. And I'm wondering if you would ask Zoe your question one more time.
I love what Zoe had shared with me a moment ago about animals because it
Beautiful.
opens my mind to new possibilities. What I've always loved the most about all the work I've done, and being a therapist was my life's work. Um, I call it seva, my work for God. I don't know why my camera
No
just went
worries.
off, but
Yeah,
um, so to think about animals and playing a part with them, I could certainly see it would be a great deal of joy for me.
beautiful.
Um, I love being in a group of people. I love the energy of people coming together and looking to support one another without even knowing that they're supporting one another. I
Mm.
love that process, that synergy that takes place. It'd be interesting to experience that with animals.
So that's wonderful, Joseph. And for brevity's sake now, because we have so many other people to get to as well, and more on the
Absolutely.
call, I think it was wonderful just to pause and to get confirmation that even in the pause, and in the process of celebrating your day, that's still that message from Zoe still rang true and spoke in your heart. So whenever we
Mm,
pause and feel that way, it's such beautiful confirmation. Uh, Blessings to you, Joseph. Blessings for all the work that you have done and your service throughout the years,
beautiful.
and may you celebrate that service and that it may repay you with the grace that you have given to it as well. Thank you, Joseph.
Zoe, did you finish saying what you were just started to say a moment ago?
Yeah, absolutely. I do. I feel so much animal energy around you.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's not like you've got to go and foster 25 dogs or anything. You might have one at a time, but there's a there's a lot of gifts that these beings have to offer you in the experience. And so yeah, just sit with it for a while and breathe into it and
Great. Blessings,
yeah.
Joseph. Thank you so much. Let's move on now. Donna
Thank you,
Maria,
Joseph.
welcome to the call.
Hi, John. Thank you. Hi, Zoe.
Hello.
That was really a lovely activation. Thank you so much. It really did take me
Mhm.
deeper and clarify my question. Um, and I can feel everybody else here. I'm in a good space. I've finally accepted this in between kind of space and I'm enjoying it. Um, the honor to wait for God is were lovely
Mhm.
words to put to that feeling, John.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel very connected to my higher self. I feel like I am walking with that connection instead of just visiting it occasionally during meditations or things like this. I carry it with me as I navigate. Finding connections randomly with people, mostly children and animals, but with all people in various situations. My question is, the people that I know well or have known for a long time, friends, relatives, when when I see them for an extended period of time, I'm finding it difficult to sustain tolerance for meeting them in their 3D dramas, scenarios for an extended period of time. Um, and I don't know. I could go on about it, but I don't want to take up too much time.
You so know. I'm sorry. You so know, but that's okay. I'm just smiling because I feel you.
I'm
Zoe,
having trouble with it.
Zoe,
And if there's any tips you can give me for that,
I can give
because
you a
I,
very direct tip. I'm gonna let Zoe tune into you. Uh,
okay,
Mine's
John,
very masculine and direct, by the way.
John, give your tip first and then I can soften it afterwards.
I'm just, thank you. It's be okay with not wanting to be in somewhere you don't want to be. It's okay. It's okay if it's not resonant. It's okay if you're just tired of it and you get fed up with the words that they're saying or the beliefs that they have. It doesn't have to resonate. You don't have to make it good. You don't have to be the Christed, compassionate one that understands everything and everybody and receives them. We're learning boundaries. We're learning discernment. We're learning how to maintain the integrity of our energetic field without the influence of others coming in to wanting to dilute it, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. So you're maintaining a sacredness and you're knowing of what your field, the royalty of your field and what it takes to enter that castle or that temple. And that's not a bad thing. And it's okay. Doesn't make them bad. It just makes them, you just are aware that they're out of alignment. So
I don't enjoy my intolerance though. Oh, you're making me sweat while you're talking. I'm getting all sweaty now.
yeah.
Um, I don't enjoy my intolerance and of it. And I spend a lot of time alone. Like I just get out of I don't know. I do have the boundaries, but I spend a lot of time alone, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I would just
Let's let
I
Zoe
guess
soften it up now. Yes.
no, it's okay, John. You're exactly right. I just don't, I don't know. I want to be better at it.
Mm.
Yeah, so I just want to speak in a little piece into the ego, and then I'll share what the message was coming through for you. So whenever we use these concepts of, oh, they're so 3D, or they're in this mundane reality, we are actually operating from our ego, and we perceive ourselves to be higher than. And so just be mindful with the wording and the thoughts that you choose to have when it comes to interacting with the world around you. Okay? Because when we say things like this, we're operating from ego. So, ironically, we are then operating from third dimensional awareness. And it is not to then have to be in situations and be in the tolerance of it, but it is to be in the acceptance of that is somebody's journey. And we can choose how much or how little we desire to participate in the experiences with others. And when you are in a space of heart and compassion, it is easier to spend time with others that are perhaps on a different journey. So it's not 3D or 5D, it's just a different journey. And one of the messages that was coming through in this in-betweenness was, what do I need to know? And show me with crystal clear vision and thank you. So these are two questions that you could ask every day. What do I need to know? And show me with crystal clear vision and thank you. And so in the space that you create for yourself, there is a deeper message that wants to come through for you. So before you'd even ask the question, Donna, with John, those were the two statements that came through for you.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. The question does. The explanation about tolerance for people and compassion and it not coming from ego, I get that. I've been a nurse my whole life, so I have been able to separate other people's stuff from my opinion of it. It's just that I feel alone. I feel alone, not higher than, just alone in my experience.
Yeah. And so that's where that statement comes, right? And so then the next piece to that is, I am ready to receive and have experiences with soul family. I'm ready to meet my community. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to connect. I'm ready to go back out into the world that I have created based on my perspective, and show me the people. So that perhaps could even be a daily question as well. I'm ready to receive the soul family. And every single person that goes through an awakening journey will at some point or another, or multiple times in their experience, will feel separated and isolated from the people that they once knew. But they, family kind of gets a hall pass. They're our deepest soul work. And then there are the rest of the world that we operate with. And when we go through these shifts, there is a period of aloneness and isolation. And also we get to call in those that are resonant to us. I think I had a period probably of about 5 years where there was one person at a time that could meet me at the level that I was understanding of myself and of reality. And as I became more integrated and whole within my awareness of myself and life, the soul family that I have since met is astronomical. There are so many of us, that's why we come into communities like this and experiences, and there is always somebody around the corner from you that is having that same desire and wish. And so setting that prayer to be energy and motion, like, I'm ready to connect to soul family, because when we're full up with the light and life of others in community, our experiences with our family and those that are on a different path through our work and it's easier to, I don't really want to use the word tolerate, but it's easier to navigate because we are being full, our cup is being filled, sorry, with the beautiful community that we have around us. So that's a beautiful question for you to ask as well.
Donna, thank you so
much.
much. Great to have you on here.
Welcome.
Um, Zoe, yeah, and I also want to share that sometimes initiation is just because we're supposed to be alone. We're supposed to
100%.
deepen with the intimacy of ourselves and be alone and get to know ourselves through whatever might be transitioning, whether it's being grateful to be alone or being feeling like we're left out. And
100%.
like we might not ever fit in anywhere because nobody understands us. And it's a deepening of our connection with spirits and with God. So we can trust that people have shown up in our lives. I mean, most of us have been here a few decades at least. And somehow we've managed to make friends, find some semblance of community, whether it's one person or a group of people. We reconnect with family after we go through a transition and we meet each other in a different place. We mature, but somehow we find someone whose hand we get to hold at one point or another consistently. And so if we can trust the journey of where we are now, you're not less than you were from where you were 10, 15, 20 years ago. You've grown so much. You've become so aware. Your heart has expanded. Everybody on this call, without question, look at how far we've come. So my invitation also is to trust what's right in front of us in the present moment and know without the expectation I'm less than or something's missing or something's wrong and enjoy the perfection that is in the moment because it really is. It's a gift to be here and to be able to be present and to experience whatever we're experiencing. It's an absolute gift. So there's
Yeah, I
there's
love
so
that
much that's
image.
awakening our community, and we're being called into sovereignty during this time because we can no longer deny ourselves. We are being called up and out energetically and physically because we've got stuff to do in a vibrational world that we're activating so that we may experience and others can see the new reality that we know that we were born here to give vision and creation to. So it's we have tremendous purpose of all of these phases that we're experiencing. And I wanted to be very direct and clear about that as well because I see it without question. And all of y'all hold such beautiful keys that only you can hold. And I encourage you to navigate with a full heart. And it could be tender, but that's why we have, you know, guides like Zoe showing up on these calls to remind us who and what's available. So blessing on your journey, Donna Maria. I get it.
Mm,
I get it.
yeah.
Um, Let's continue. Jilly, let's go to you. And Matilda and Paul, I'm going to get to you. There's questions in the chat. We got the special offer to go through also. So we still got a lot of time and so much to share. Jilly, it's so good to see you.
You too, John. Hi. And hi,
Hello.
Zoe. Hi.
Hi.
Um, I'm sort of surprised to find myself here, but I got nudged and I asked, what am I supposed to ask about? And what I received was that you have something that you might be meant to bring through for me right now in this new iteration of being with my beautiful body.
Hmm.
Have permission to tune in?
You have permission.
Okay. Hmm. How is your relationship to your body?
It's in progress. It was one where I hated it. I love it. And it's still a journey for me.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever have any stomach issues in the past?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Do you mind sharing or do you want to keep it private? It's fine.
No, it's fine. No, I don't. I have a lot of digestive issues because
Yeah.
it's where I digest all my emotion, which I have a lot of.
Yeah. So there's this journey with the physical body that is inviting you into, I want you to almost imagine that you are in a new romance and that you are dating your body. And a few times a week, put this as an appointment in your calendar, date with body. Right? Where you get to literally sit, and you can even do get some castor oil and do a little belly massage where you're literally massaging the colon and you're massaging the belly. And you can come up with 10 to 20 powerful invocations of everything that you wish you had shared with your body. So instead of the not self, right, which is all the judgment, the expectation, the pain, what are 10 to 20 powerful statements that you can massage into your tummy? I digest with grace and ease all that I receive in my external reality. As an example, I love and approve of my beautiful sacred vessel. I am here because of my body. Thank you, body, right? And as you're doing this, you're massaging all of this beautiful knowledge and love. So do this like 2 to 3 times a week for a minimum of 6 weeks, which sounds excessive. But you think about all the years, right? Well, we've kind of been in judgment and. So that was coming through really strong. Like as soon as you gave me permission, I went straight to your tummy and I almost wanted to just grab the side of your tummy and go, it's okay, you are loved. And there's this kind of massage that is going to start to move this stuckness. It's almost like there's this, even this like, I don't want to use the word parasitic, but there's like this ancient kind of sticky, energetic, tarry stuff that just wants to be massaged out. Right? And as you're doing this with these invocations, you are taking back command of your physical vessel. So it's no longer being governed by the subconscious belief systems of guilt, of shame, of envy, and right? So you're literally reprogramming. Make sense?
So much sense. It's just everything inside of me goes, oh, yes. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. My pleasure.
Julie, good to see you. Blessings to you.
Thank you,
That's
John.
so wonderful. All right, we're going to get to more callers. I promise. I want to go to the special offer first because there's a Trinity portal opportunity that Zoe is bringing into our community that y'all have access to. And this is pretty cool the way she's putting this together. So everybody click on the special offer button underneath the video where you're watching the call from. If you're watching live or on the replay, it's right underneath the video. Or you can access it by the link that's in the chat box on the video or by going to beyondtheordinaryshow.com/marketplace. And Zoe, tell us about this Trinity portal.
Thank you. I'm so excited to bring this to Beyond the Ordinary community. This is exclusive for all of you to join us. And so we are going to be meeting for 3 live journeys on the 11th of November, the 12th of December, and the 21st of December. And the intention of these live calls is really to enter a sacred field of remembrance and embodiment in our ability to ground and expand into what we are calling in, especially as we're moving into the last part of 2025 and beyond. You'll have full access to the recordings of these if you can't make it live. And on the 11th of November, we are going to be opening up what I like to call this kind of awakening portal, right? And we're going to be journeying through breath, through sound, through grounding, and opening up to ancient wisdom stored within our cellular memory. And so I will be sharing with you instructions on how to best prepare for these journeys, because we are going to be working very deeply with the energetics of your physical self, your emotional self, your mental self, and your spiritual self. And so we're going to be going into this journey and looking to dissolve any kind of old sticky timeline versions, any stuck energy, any belief systems, and any versions of self that are ready to be shed, much like we are in the year of the snake. So we can go through this activation to literally shed a layer, an energetic, an emotional layer, so that we can start to move into alignment and hold more energy, hold more prana. And then when we meet up again on the 12th of December, we are going to be working with the energies of amplifying possibility. So once we've gone through that first call of clearing, releasing, expanding, opening up, sitting in that spaciousness, we come together for amplifying possibilities. So we'll go through a deep journey of manifestation and limitless expansion. And then we will meet up on the solstice live for the 21st of December, where we're going to be anchoring in this truth into our nervous system so that we can hold this as a potential in our new timeline. And part of this journey, we'll be going through some remembrancing. Maybe there'll be some soul memories coming through that will help us for our highest timeline. In the short term, to prepare for this, I have made a really powerful Akashic record journey where we go to the Akashic records with the Akashic record gatekeepers, and we'll be looking to clear and dissolve any karma loops and any stuck cycles that have been happening at a third dimensional consciousness. So I'm really, really, really just so beyond excited to bring this to Beyond the Ordinary show. I sat in deep meditation and asked for the guidance. How can I serve this community to the best of my ability? And I got this transmission through the Trinity portals. And I was like, okay, well, what's that? And they said, just put them on these dates and we will guide you through the rest. So I'm very excited for it. And
Beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate how you articulated on here that we're opening to level of creative power and flow that naturally elevates the entire reality. And it's not about bypassing or chasing a particular manifestation. It's about rooting into presence, opening to greater receptivity. And so much is wanting to be given to us if we only open the door, and then embodying the highest creative potential from that receptivity. These are powerful doorways, and I feel them as more amplified than I've ever experienced them in the awareness that I've had of when these doorways have become available for over 15 years. But there is an activation in something that is rooting within our physicality and embodiment that is taking these amplifications of light to levels that I have never experienced before. And for me, that just speaks to what we're able to hold and the intention of benevolence that we're carrying through the work that we've done, of our capacity to be able to be stewards for the energy that we're receiving. So again, this is extraordinary what's coming up here, and to dive into Zoe into these portals, and with the grace and the purity and the love that she holds in community. It's a wonderful opportunity. Again, the 3 calls, they happen on those particular portal days at 11 a.m. Pacific time zone. There will be recordings, so you'll receive replays, or if you happen to miss the call, you'll get the replay. And there's a 2 payment option. The full price is $111. You can pay half now, and half comes out in a month later, and you'll be able to dive into the first one on 11/11. And tell us a little bit more about this bonus, because when you came on the call, you were like really pumped up about what was coming through the soul contract, clearing an Akashic release.
Excuse me. Wow, obviously needing to clear something. You asked me and I literally got this little bubble in my throat. I recorded this journey this morning because I wanted to record it on the day of this live interview with you, John. And I was so blown away. Like, as I was bringing through the transmission of the journey, I was going through the process myself, and I have just felt so light and playful and joyful for the rest of the day. I won't give too much away, but it's a really, really, really beautiful journey where we visit the Akashic records and we are able to literally kind of dissolve any and all of these kind of like old stuck energies that have been lingering around. And then we go through this process of just sitting in the void of nothingness to really fill back in with who we are, and then setting an intention and a potential as we come out of that. So it's around 45 minutes, that particular journey, and you can go through that as many times as you feel guided to always learn something else that is ready to be brought forwards. Because a lot of our ability to create in this reality is kind of stuck in our known selves of our previous lives and our previous experiences. And I really feel a lot of it is outdated, right? It doesn't serve our highest calling of leadership, of service, of purpose. And so when we go into these incredibly expansive energetic practices, it saves us years of having to process this at a third dimensional human level. So, as above, so below, as within, so without. So it's actually giving our physical experience a possibility to transcend what we don't need to know anymore, right? And so it's literally dissolving these constructs.
Well, and I love that it brought you to a place of joy also, because when we anchor in with joy through an experience, it means something has shifted in the gratitude, and how wonderful to be in that vibrational state after anything, right?
Yeah.
To keep coming back to that, what a gift. So again, the bonus on there, I wanted to touch into a little bit as well, because that's available immediately before the calls. So again, y'all know where to find the special offer. The link's in the chat box, the special offer button underneath the video. And let's continue now. I want to go to Paula. Welcome to the call.
Hi,
Hello.
thank
Hi,
you.
Paula.
Hi, hello. Um, so it's interesting how the last question kind of really started to tie in, or I was receiving information from that one as well. But so I've been in this, I recently moved into this house. It's been about a year now, and from a different state, and I've felt like exhausted, like more exhausted than I've ever felt in my entire life. I've been doing a lot of healing. I've been doing a lot of, you know, sitting with myself, all of those things. And I feel this pull that it's time to come out, but now I've been hit with like this stomach thing and more exhaustion as well. So I'm curious if this is an invitation that I'm still needing to be here in this place, in this house by myself, in this time, or if there's something else out, potentially in my energy or outside that's contributing to this intensity.
Okay. Have you ever had your house checked for mold at all?
No, because I don't even own it.
You don't own it? Okay.
Mm-mm.
And where are you geographically located? Are you in a space that would be quite humid?
Yes, I'm in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay. So yes, it's quite humid there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you started talking, I was feeling into the energy of the house, and I got the message there's something in the house that isn't supporting your energy. And you might be better off moving. I'm just gonna say it. I don't know whether it's like, I can't be sure if it's mold or there's something in the house, the energy on the land, that it's not supporting you. And sometimes when we go through these experiences, we can sometimes think, oh, it's all energetic. And yes, on some level it is, but also the environment can have an impact. And there's something about you in that house that isn't fully resonating. What you can do in the short term with the space is, if you can get hold of some type of air purifier, to clean the air, especially in your bedroom. And I'm getting through, if you can get access to any aloe vera or any spider plants. I don't know if you call them that in the States,
Yeah,
you know, the
they're called
spider
spider
plants.
plants.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
For your bedroom to help to clear the air, and sleep with a window open to get the air. There's something in the house that's not fully helping your energy.
Paula, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Do you love living there?
The first year I did.
Mhm.
So I've lived here a year. I'm starting a second year here. And the first year I did, there's a bunch of nature and a pond behind our house, and I love the animals. And so I did, but this year I feel like I was supposed to come out of my shell, but I've just literally I mean, I've never experienced exhaustion and lack of energy the way that I am right now.
Mm.
So it's very trying me. And I
Yeah,
feel like guilt, like I'm not exercising, I'm not doing the things that I know I need to do. But yet it's like when I try, I literally feel like there's something just like saying, absolutely not.
And I want to ask you just for follow-up, and I want to give context to everybody also and things that we're navigating as well. First, I would ask, have you left the house for a week or two, and did you feel better when you left and then came back? That's just a diagnostic that you may want to check into. If you have, that's could be great confirmation. Because it's good to feel into that. Y'all, don't be surprised into the waves of energy that we're experiencing. I go through periods of having energy, exercising, eating healthy, and then all of a sudden I'm achy. I feel like I've overtrained, and even though I haven't, I feel like I'm craving foods that are just like they don't fill anything. They don't fulfill a need of a hunger or a nutrient that my body's craving. I'm having dreams at night that are keeping me tossing and turning and receiving. I'm having these stimuluses in my body that are aches and pains. And for me, I'm aware that they're all part of an energetic expansion that is pushing out limitations or energies that I'm shedding. And my physical reality is going through that shedding process as well. And I'm not
yeah,
saying that to say that we bypass anything in our environment that's causing us harm or making us feel less than, but also to be aware that some very esoteric energies are are causing us to shift. We're having a lot of solar activity that's coming in also that may be causing headaches. If you don't normally get headaches, you've been having headaches lately, that could be something that's coming up. It has for me. So again, we're navigating different things, and it's always good to really do good diagnostics in different areas so that we can bring more sense to what may seem unsensible. Uh, because again, there's a lot of different energies that we're navigating. And absolutely, Zoe, you're right. Checking the environment and something that's out of balance there is a perfect first step or next step if you haven't done that. Zoe,
yeah.
you're going to share something else?
Yeah, I was just sharing, having, have compassion with where you're at the moment as well. And as John was saying, in fact, me and John were having this conversation earlier today. I was like, have you been sleeping like 12 hours a day? He's like, yes. I was like, and
Oh,
how do
yeah.
you feel? Exhausted. I was like, yeah, me too. Okay. Right. It's not just me then. And so sometimes there's these different layers, right? There's these deep energetics that are happening. There's these solar flares that are happening. There's this collective intensity that's coming up. And then also, how can we support ourselves in that moment whilst we're going through this? And in your case, Paula, there is something in the house that isn't helping you as best as it could do. And so what you could do perhaps after this call is walk around the house and go, hey, house, thank you so much for housing me. And how can you support me to have more energy? And what do you need from me, house, to feel loved and appreciated? And there's this movement of energy that wants to kind of happen in that house. So whether you kind of go through a process, I don't know if you've done this before, you can just leave the back door open. You can get some sage or Palo Santo and go through a whole cleansing and purifying of the house. But there's also something in the cleaning of the air. So air purifier would be really, really good for you, and spider plants as well. So,
And I actually have an aloe vera. I
great.
have spider plants in my
Nice.
room, and I have an air
Amazing.
purifier right next to my room.
Okay.
You're on track.
Okay. So you've got those things. So the next phase to that then is, yeah, get tested for mold. And also there's a period that you're in as well of your life that is requiring more rest than what you're perhaps used to. And so sometimes with that external environment, that's reflective of our internal environment. So as John was saying, just have compassion for yourself through these moments as well. All of you listening to this, right? We try to speed ahead based on these expectations that we're still living in third dimensional consciousness. We're not, we're bouncing in and out of multiple dimensions all the time. And with that takes a different way of flowing in our lives, right? And so as John was like, I haven't worked out for 5 months, which is very strange. I normally work out 4 or 5 times a week. Haven't worked out for 5 months. And every time I go to work out, an old injury starts to flare up again physically, like you cannot lift weights right now. It's not supportive, right? And the ego wants to bypass that. And so it's deeply listening as well. So
Yeah. Well, what's also happening, Zoe, and I think it's wonderful, and I love it if you help me fill in some blanks as we share here. For all of us, y'all, again, as we're tuning into new energies and again shedding what doesn't serve anymore. Whenever we feel depleted, it's good to sit down, if not once a day, once a week, and really take inventory on where you are leaking energy. Where is it that you're not in alignment with your finances, that you're in fear? Where is it that you're giving to others that it feels draining? Where is it that you're not in a circulation of energy that is good for both parties, whether it's with another person, with your work, with your relationship to spirit or other energies, with social media, whatever it is, and take an inventory on where those leaks may be happening and come to a very sober place of it and choose to plug up those leaks. Bring your energy back. We give so much of our attention and our energy to things that honestly do not deserve how precious you are.
so true, John.
Truly.
So
And so we
so
call that
true.
back. We gather ourselves back and we're being called back to ourselves. We cannot deny our divinity and our light, and we need to honor and have reverence for where we're giving it to somewhere that's not nurturing something that is of that benevolence and bring it back so it can be utilized in the highest form.
Yeah, I love that awareness. And it can sometimes be as simple as even taking a complete social media break, right? It can be as simple as going through
But
the
not from
bank account.
BTO.
No, not from BTO, of course. Not from the good stuff. Not from the good stuff. But even going through the bank accounts and looking at like where is there repeat subscriptions for things, or going into a drawer and organizing the drawer, or throwing away old food, just it doesn't matter which direction you choose to go in, but just creating a bit of spaciousness allows for a deepening of that space of who we are becoming, right? And so when we're attached to all the messiness in our external reality, that can create an inner conflict as well, right? And I'm not saying you have to be a minimalist, but it's a really, really therapeutic process to go through, as John was saying, like, where are the energy leaks? Where are we consciously and subconsciously being drained, right? Because we want to be more
Including our own
connected.
subconscious and our own fears and our own hesitations. Let's
Yes.
not forget to look in the
Yes.
mirror and take ownership of what's there. Paula, thank you for bringing this up in
No, it's
conversation
beautiful.
and what you facilitated here, and blessings on your house. Um, I would say acknowledge the love that your house has for you
Yeah,
also.
100%.
But sometimes we outgrow the relationships and we're ready for more, and that's okay. Blessings to you, Paula. Great to see you. Donna Maria, Paula, you have such a bright light, and she's right. So beautiful. All right, let's continue here. Lisa has written in and she says that she has a metallic taste in her mouth. Um, I'm not going to share the rest of your question, Lisa, because I want to see what Zoe feels into first, and then I'll follow up with the rest of what you wrote. So, why do you think that she might be having a metallic taste in her mouth, Zoe?
I mean, sometimes we can have, I mean, our tongues, like we release toxins on our tongue. And so sometimes if we have heavy metals in our body, that can be indicative through the metallic taste in our tongue. It's also always a good idea to test your water quality and to get a filter. I mean, I always recommend, if possible, spring water, filtered water, mineral water as much as possible. Especially in the UK, the tap water there is full of heavy metals because we have like very old piping with lead actually in a lot of areas, and that's really harmful for the body. So that's possibly what's coming up. And
she was
John,
asking if it was the water, and that's
yeah.
that's exactly what she was tuning into as
Oh,
well.
okay.
If you're feeling in the water, get a good filtration system to take out the aluminum and
Yes.
get your water from other sources other than in the house that look online to see what water is available in your area. ChatGPT can be wonderful to find out where you can get good quality water uh, for yourself. Use those. I mean, we're in a beautiful information age, and we just forget to research those things that can support us with very little effort if we only source them from the right places. Um, yeah, blessings too. It's I was having an issue with my water for a while also. And also water that it wasn't satiating my thirst, and it was flat. It was flat. So to bring electrolytes into the water, to spin the water sometimes in a vertexual energy, and to structure it could be really helpful. Or a pinch of salt in the water also is extremely beneficial for our bodies and helps us to absorb and bind in ways that hydration from regular tap water or poor water sources really can't facilitate. Um, all right, let's continue now to Lynn. Hi, Lynn.
Hello. Thanks for taking me on this call.
Hi, Lynn.
Having us.
So nice to meet you, Zoe. Yes, I don't have anything specific. After listening to Jilly, I was called to, raise my hand and just ask for guidance for my soul, anything that wants to come through.
What's a specific question that you desire to ask?
Well, yeah, I guess I do want to ask. I kind of don't want to ask, but I do want to ask about my relationship with my daughter, Molly. I've not heard from her for 3 weeks. She got mad at me over a financial issue. And yeah, those have been going on for a long time, but I thought our relationship has been improving. Over the last few years, she's 41, and yeah, it's been kind of volatile for quite a few years, but yeah, I guess that's the question.
Okay. Yeah, mother and daughter relationships are a very interesting journey to navigate in our human incarnations, whether you're the daughter or the mum. And I get in this instance at the moment to just give it a bit of space.
Okay.
And kind of lean back and give her some energetic space as well. Work on yourself, the best that you can be for you in every moment. Maybe there's some beautiful things that you could book into your calendar for this week to love yourself, to honor yourself, to forgive yourself, and to give her a bit of space.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Not
Not to get into it too much, but that was kind of like the first message that came through.
That feels good. Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to add to the first person that asked about animals. I talked about animals that possibly could look into working as a volunteer. I work at a spay and neuter clinic for 10 years. And I
Oh,
have
beautiful.
dogs and cats. Also, I'm able to do that at my house, but it or some volunteer or a nonprofit type animal place that you might look into.
Amazing.
Volunteering.
Thank
There's
you.
my dog. Sorry, she's barking at my cat.
Oh.
Well, thank you very
Lynn,
much, Zoe and John.
thank
My
you for
pleasure,
coming on,
Lynn.
and
Thank
blessings to
you.
you. Blessings on
Bye-bye.
your relationship with your daughter.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And any relationship dynamics that we have with our children and parents, just if we just go down to the root, to the very root, the foundation of it all, of that everything that comes up through that relationship is born of love.
Mhm.
And just remember that and trust that. And love will always wind up revealing itself, maybe not the timing that we'd prefer. It's not that we won't be tender at different times and things won't trigger us. We'll want certain things that we're not getting, and we'll have different feelings about not getting it. But to always remember that love was the birth of that experience. And so keep tapping into that no matter what comes up as the truth of what really runs the river of your relationship. Blessings to you, Lynn.
Thank you, John.
Mhm.
Mm.
You're
Good night.
Thank
welcome.
you, Lynn.
We're going to take more questions, but I want to remind y'all of the Trinity portal with Zoe. The link for the special offers in the chat box underneath the video where you're watching the call. And again, we are prying open some doorways into new dimensional realities and creating with that wisdom, and to be guided in such a sacred space by someone who can hold that field with such love and compassion and grace is a gift. And so I highly encourage you to dive in with Zoe during these very special times. All the information on that is on the special offer page. Read through it and have fun when you join up on those dates with Zoe. Um, and let's continue here. Joy, I want to go to you. Welcome to today's call.
Hey, beautiful people. Thank you so much for taking my call. It's wonderful.
Mhm.
I am the proud owner of a sustainable luxury travel company, and we are looking for investment. And I'm wondering if you could take a look at my energy and see if there's anything I can expand into or do in order to shake off old patterns and embrace a new, improved, expanded abundance in my life.
And Joy Ruka, what type of travel company is it?
Sustainable luxury travel. So
Amazing.
yeah, we have a sustainability expert that works with us assessing all of our trip operators.
Wow.
Oh, I love that, Joy. Thank you for sharing. Let me just take a moment. And so what part of you is not believing that that is already a created reality?
It's a good question. Yes, I'm a stargater. I do a lot of work with the Stargate, and I feel very often that the abundance and I are the same thing. I really liked what you said earlier, John, about just being in the presence of the moment instead of reaching for a goal. And right now my life feels really goal-oriented. But yeah, I'd love some more guidance about how to get more into the present moment and see myself as one with all of the abundance that I'm looking for.
And so part of our divine blueprint on this planet is really about unearthing and discovering our energetic coding, right? And our energetic coding is wired specifically for abundance, and abundance being a state of consciousness. It's a resonance that we can hold in our field of receptivity, of alignment, of magnetism, and sometimes of certainty, even if the journey to that certainty is an experience, but there is a certainty. It's much like you go into the restaurant, you order your food, the chef might be late, but it comes out eventually. It might have a different green that was on the menu, but you get your meal. And so part of this, when we're diving deeper into our ability to understand abundance as a state of consciousness, is identifying those patterns, those beliefs, and any karmic loops that keep us out of alignment. And we know when we're out of alignment because we feel less than, we feel in contraction, we feel in the disbelief that unknown certainty is possible for us. And so it's about shifting out of that state of awareness into certainty of love, of joy, of gratitude, and holding self in that mirrored state for long enough to step into certainty. And so when it comes to your specific question of what can I do to understand more levels of abundance, but more specifically, you know, am I going to get investment for this company? Right?
Oh, I know that I am.
You know that you are.
Yeah.
And so then the duality of what you're experiencing, right, is I know that I am, yet how do I understand more abundance? How do I understand? So you want to merge those two aspects of yourself. So it's going into detail the differences between both viewpoints of perspective, and then allowing yourself to merge that all is possible, right? And as you merge the duality through your self-awareness, it's holding that in your heart long enough to understand that you do not need to control the how. It is simply a state of being. Right? So just take a moment to close your eyes for me, and everyone else listening, you can do this as well. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And deep breath out. And just feeling yourself in this moment as a magnet to all that is for your highest good. That there is nothing you need to be, to do, or say that is already existing for you. And it is in this space of your breath that that potential exists for you. Take a deep breath in. And deep breath out. Yeah, beautiful. I love that question, Joy. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you very much.
I have a question.
Yes, John.
My skeptic. If you already know it's coming, why did you ask?
It's time. I live in the 3D, somewhat in the 3D. Not all in the 3D.
You're ready for it. You're ready for it.
Yeah, it's time. Yeah, it's timing. I've been working hard and also playing hard and allowing in different.
But you already know. I'm
discussions.
just acknowledging that you already know.
Oh
It's
yeah,
coming.
I do know. And what
I
I'm
love
doing is
that.
so creative and full of art and so needed. You know,
And
travel.
the reason I want you to acknowledge that you already know it's a gift for all of us, because you're holding that space of, it's like it's already here. It's like, show up already. It's already here. It's like that bicycle we wish for Christmas, we know we're getting. But Christmas isn't getting here fast enough, right?
Exactly.
Right.
I'm ready
But
now.
and what a gift it is, and the vibrational tone that you're holding, Joy, and you're knowing. And you're knowing. And I have been, I'll give you my practice. I'm working on something that seems to be like a bit pretty big creation, something that I've seen in the field, in my field, for at least 10 years. It's finally coming, it appears to be coming to a culmination. We'll see. Like you, it's like, oh, it already happened. I felt like it already happened 10 years ago. So imagine, waiting 10 years. But lately I've been sitting in that 0 point field, in that nothingness and everything with God on a daily basis, and just amplifying the awe and wonder in my physicality of what I am open to receive without having to put on a particular thing. But even when I don't focus on that particular thing comes alive, even though I'm trying to ignore it. It's like I can't evade it. And so it feels like you're in that space also, that it's just so in your matrix. And so keep
Yeah.
amplifying any potential of what you believe it may be, and let it maybe even be something bigger through your awe and wonder of what wants to be gifted to you because of your capacity to cherish what's being born through you. So it's so wonderful. I'm celebrating you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
very blessed.
Yeah, definitely. Send me your website if you have something for it. I'm so curious. It aligns with something that I'm doing. So super
will.
cool. All right, Joy, thank you so much.
Thanks so
Thank you.
Zoe, can we take one more caller?
Of course.
All right, we're running a little bit over. Matilda, can we keep it to one question? All right, let's get to it. Matilda, welcome to the call.
Oh, you just have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm just unmuting me.
There you
Thank
go.
you, John, for taking this extra time. It's very quick. I'm
Awesome.
experiencing a buzzing noise in my ears, in and out, and also tremendous electrical pain in my pinky, all of a sudden that I never experienced before. And I wonder if there is something that I need to know or what is it? That's it.
Great question. So when you experience the buzzing, is it in your right ear or left ear?
It's actually in both, but more in the left.
More in the left. Okay. So sometimes with the buzzing, there is a, how do I explain this in English? There's messages that we're receiving from a higher plane of consciousness, and it's not in a language format that our human brains can comprehend. So it comes through as energetic. And what you can do with this is try breathing it down into your body and bringing it down into the root and down into your earth chakra. To ground it, to integrate at a cellular level, and then that messaging will probably then be able to be decoded in a way of that you can understand. So whether it will come through as a message in a language or in color or sound or a knowing. Okay, and so trying to just, when you're there with the buzzing, taking a moment to pause and breathing that energy down through your body and down into the earth.
And what about the pinky electricity?
Yeah, I get like there's this spark. There's this spark that you're being invited to kind of spark up your life. There's like an ignition, like it's time.
Okay. All right, I'll do that.
Okay. You're
Okay,
welcome.
thank you.
Matilde.
Thank you
Blessings,
for the
pleasure.
extra time. Thank you. Thank you,
Of
Zoe. Thank
course.
you, John.
Of course. Oh my goodness, great call today, Zoe. Thank you for being on. Y'all can come back and watch and listen and participate in the replay and the energy. We'll send out the replay link a little bit later, and replays can always be accessed on beyondtheordinaryshow.com/replay. And Zoe, I'm excited about what's coming through in this Trinity portal that you're going to be sharing with everybody. So that should be quite expansive is what I'm feeling. So thank you for creating the special offer, for coming on the show, for sharing with everybody with their questions and attunements that were coming in. Yeah, it's wonderful having you here. Again, thank you for being on the call. And
Thank you, John.
yeah, and thank you all for being on here as well. I look forward to seeing y'all on the next call and hope you all have a wonderful evening.